Great timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my fellow students. My name is Fortunate Chukuka, a student of Vine and King Academy, and I am supporting the motion which says students should be given smartphones at a tender age, with the following points to back me up. Mr. Chairman, before I proceed, let me define what I mean by smartphones. A smartphone is a mobile device with advanced features beyond voice calls, including internet access, educational apps, cameras, messaging, and digital tools, which connect users to information and people in real time. When we say tender age, we are talking of children who are in primary school, who are curious, fast learners, and ready to engage with technology under proper guidance. We support smartphones for young children because the world they are growing into is already digital. Denying them access is like sending them into a library with their eyes closed. Smartphones give children access to educational videos, interactive apps, and learning tools, which makes subjects like math, science, and languages easier to grasp. For example, a child struggling with spelling can use a dictionary app, and a child curious about space can watch NASA videos on YouTube Kids. Many schools lack enough textbooks, teachers, or learning tools. Take for example, a smartphone with offline apps and downloaded lessons can give a child in the village the same access to the same quality of content a child in the city gets. With platforms like Google Classrooms, a child can learn beyond the walls of their classrooms, even when infrastructure is limited. This is not distraction, this is empowerment. Thank you.
Signing on the existing protocol. My name is Hannah Alpha, student of Vine and King Academy. I am here to oppose the motion which says that children should be given a smartphone at the tender age. I stand here to argue firmly that smartphone does more harm than good. While smartphone has indeed brought some benefits, I believe the harm it causes outweighs disadvantage. Allow me to explain why. Firstly, smartphones affect children's health negatively. Many children spend hours on their phone, computer, or playing video games, and this leads to eye strain, bad posture, or even obesity due to lack of physical activity. When they spend too much time in front of screen, they are less likely to play outside, exercise, or do other physical activities. As a result, many children are becoming less active, which harms their physical and mental health. Secondly, smartphones isolate children socially. Instead of talking to friends and family face to face, they prefer to communicate through social media, texting message. While it seems they are connecting, they are actually becoming more distant from each other. Children nowadays spend more time chatting online than playing with friends in real life. And this makes it harder for them to develop strong relationships. Thirdly, smartphones make children to be too dependent on machines. Instead of solving problems on their own, they turn to their phones and computers. And this dependence can make them less prepared to face challenges without the use of smartphone. Thank you.
Starting on the existing protocol, my name is Father Ray Samuel. I am here to support the motion which says children should be given smartphones at tender age. Just as my first speaker has rightly said, smartphone as learning tools, but I, the second speaker, will give you a few points. Smartphone builds communication skills. At tender age, a child learns mostly through communication. Smartphone builds communication between family, relatives, and friends. Without smartphone, a child cannot know when to talk to his parents and when not to talk to his parents. A child boarding at Abuja while his parents farm at Niger State with a 5-minute video call on WhatsApp, it can prevent the child from most sickness. Secondly, smartphones in times of banditry and insecurity. Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, let me address this issue. Smartphone builds more communication. In times of banditry, a child can easily send an emergency SOS to his parents that their boss has been attacked. In 2021, a Kaduna GSS2 student, which their boss was attacked, quickly phoned his uncle so the uncle could know that they had been attacked. Lastly, smartphone builds communication. And lastly, smartphone helps children who are suffering from asthma. Children who are suffering from asthma can send an ad.
Standing on the other side, my name is Adekunle, and I stand before you today. Smartphone are beginning to students at a tender age. As my own has said, the smartphone is a powerful medium that combines both fields. Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Aduju Kumar, and I stand before you this morning to oppose the motion that states smartphones should be given to students at a tender age. As my students have all said, a smartphone is a powerful network that combines both visual and audio function into one system. It is considered even more attractive than rectangular shape and fancy features. But you agree with me that in the strength of attraction lies its weakness. Giving these devices to students is a dangerous situation that they should be in the environment. Instead of promoting digital literacy, these devices act as major distraction, rural academic dishonesty, and isolate students physically and socially. As a second speaker, I stand firmly to oppose this motion. My first speaker has already laid out the immediate restriction smartphone use to the classroom. But I'll go a step further and break down exactly why giving these devices to necessity irreversible physical and social damage. Here are recent six about this motion.
Are you listening to the fluency of this girl?
1. Smartphone leads to exposure and elimination of space spacing. Traditionally,
The
we know
influence,
that
the way
when bullied students are bullied, they always find refuge at home. But smartphones destroy this boundary by making it possible for tormentors to reach their victims at any time of the day.
the fluency
Anonymous message and
is
text
something
and
else.
viral videos self-scheduling instantly. A single humiliating post can be viewed by the entire school body within minutes, causing permanent disaster, leaving parents, teachers, or guidance completely blind to the abuse.
Can you imagine the way she flew? She flew, entering my body.
Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Esther Wanzi. I stand before you today to strongly propose the motion which says children should be given smartphone at tender age. Let's be clear about one thing. Right from the start, the world is no longer where it was to be. We are living on the 21st century, deeply in digital era. Opponents may argue that phones at tender age bring distractions, but they fail to look at the primary benefit. Technology is the language of future. The earlier children are being introduced to smart devices in a control and guidance manner, the faster they develop digital literacies. Just as we teach our children how to cross the road safely, we must also teach our children how to navigate the internet safely. Mr. Chairman, opponents are confused. Tender age means 6 to 8 years old. Please, is there any primary 2 pupils in this event that are chatting boyfriend now? None. At that age, phones are for nursery rhymes. A 6-year-old child with smartphone is on YouTube. Is on YouTube Kids watching Cocomelon. Parents, please can your primary 1-year-old child hold a romantic chat? No. The idea of chatting is sending their parents voice note telling them they love them and plenty of emoji. So the preference argument does not apply tender age. Parents pretending that technology doesn't exist wouldn't perfect our children. Instead, it will only leave them behind. Thanks.
Standing on the existing protocol, my name is Deborah Oguche. I'm here to oppose the motion which says that students should be given smartphones at a tender age. Respected judges, yes, phone have learning as but at the tender age, students have self-control. If given a phone to do homework, instead they end up in TikTok, YouTube short that expose them to inappropriate content, trends and challenges. This corrupts young minds, so the learning advantage become a learning disaster. Secondly, let's be honest. My opponents say use of parental control. Let's be honest. Many parents today they are busy with their work, businesses, and their own phone. They do not have time to monitor every click of the child. Some do not even care what the child does or watch. So relying on parental control isn't a solution. Instead, it's a gamble with our children's future. Yes, phone can connect fast, but at the tender age, students misuse that connection. Boys use phone to ask girls out, like girls use phone to call their boyfriend for hours. Instead of calling their parents in danger, they are busy with dating and chatting, so they save seems to become a distraction that destroy innocent thanks.
As my opponents here have all said, children may see bad content online. But Mr. Chairman, bad content exists everywhere, on the streets, in TV, and even in some storybooks. But one way from technology is not the solution. Instead, parents can download child-safe browsers like Google Family Links to filter content. Finally, banning smartphones is not the solution. It only pushes underground usage without supervision. If parents can teach children how to use smartphones wisely at a tender age, we raise a generation that is informed, connected, and prepared for the future, not left behind by it. So, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you that children should be given smartphones at a tender age. Thank you.
In conclusion, the harm it causes to our health, relationship, privacy and skill cannot be ignored. Smartphone isolate children, create online danger, and make children overly dependent on machines. So, Mr. Chairman, with these few points of ours, we hope you have been able to convince you and not to confuse you that smartphone does more harm than good to our children. Thank you.
A hand of applause for them. You all be seated. Now, in every debate, there must be a panel of judges. Even